everybody? This is Jay, and this is about where the Shy went wrong in season 2 and how they could fix it for season 3. But I'm only going to focus on the final episode to make the video shorter, so here it go. Now, first off, I want to start off with Brandon. Now, the character Brandon, I know he's no longer on the show anymore, and that's a good thing, but they made Brandon so dumb. It's like he had no street smarts at all whatsoever. And it just blows my mind that this guy grew up in Chicago in the hood but has no idea of nothing. Like a lot of things people know that aren't even in the gang is you always take your responsibility when it's due. And this gun that he had was his fault, not Otis Perry's fault. Why is he carrying around this gun when he already knew that they had security? Otis Perry had security following him. But he's so dumb, he keeps a gun in his truck that he doesn't even know the history of. He doesn't know how many bodies is on it, whether it was involved in what that means, murders, whatever the case. And so he's an idiot. Nobody in their right mind would have kept a weapon like that, especially knowing that they had the help of Otis Perry supporting them. So that's one thing that I just don't understand. And then when Otis Perry came to bail him out, Brandon was very loud and disrespectful in the police station, knowing damn well you don't front a man like that off in public in the police station. And you talking all this stuff about what you got to do to get out, and it's his fault for having this gang activity or whatever. That could have cost Brandon right there by showing how scared he is by disrespecting this man in the police station. And then Jerica got the nerve to be upset with him as if he was the gang kingpin. Another thing that I didn't like is why was Brandon upset about Ronnie, but then he goes over and apologizes, all because Detective Cruz said that Jason was Ronnie's son and he was killed. I'm sorry for your loss, but what does that have to do with him killing my brother? My brother didn't do it. This dude still needs to pay for what he did. I'm not going to say, well, I get it, and I guess my brother dying makes it even or something, or we just going to leave it alone and let. That's not how it works. I bet you Coogie, if he could speak, he would say this dude needs to pay. He wouldn't say, just forget it, let him go paint the fence like Mr. Miyagi or whatever. I don't know. And then another thing is how I know that there was back problems between the two behind the scenes, but the way that they made them break up, it was so pathetic in a way. So she's upset with him because the person that invested in him had other stuff going on behind the scenes that he didn't know about, and it was out of his control. What did she think he was going to be able to do? Nobody else was there to invest in him like Otis Perry was. Who when they speak with somebody tells all of their business. Brandon didn't find out that Otis Perry was working with the 63rd Street mob until it was too late. He had already accepted the money. He wanted to give the money back, but he had felt good about having that money, so he told her she can quit her job. She quit her job. That forced him to stay in bed with Otis Perry. Instead of explaining all this stuff, he goes on some rant about what it's like to be a man and all of this stupidness and how she bougie or got all this privilege. That's stupid. He should have explained what happened and told, how he got in that situation. Instead, he gets arrested, which isn't even a conviction. You can get arrested for anything. That means nothing. But that's all it took for her to leave this man. He wasn't selling drugs or doing anything illegal, although he did have that gun. And then when he comes home, how did she take everything? And when I say everything, I mean everything. This dude gonna have to eat out the palm of his hand, and he don't even have dishes. She took the paint off the wall in this place. I mean, come on. All she left him was a couple stretched out collared shirts hanging up in the closet. And where was he at? How did she pack all this up by herself that fast? It just didn't seem realistic to me. And another thing is, how are these cops spending all this time and effort on an investigation for Otis Perry? That's a homicide detective and a violent crimes detective. Now they trying to investigate and bring down one of these people that has a clean rap sheet, and it's going to be extremely hard, take a lot of time to do. This is Chicago. It's a murder all the time and violent crimes all the time. They would be busy with a bigger caseload than to devote so much time and effort to taking down Otis Perry. It just doesn't make sense to me. And when I watch it, it just screams, this don't make sense. And then another thing, how did Detective Toussaint let her son get beat in jail, and then she going down harder on them and trying to take it down? She can care less about her son, basically, because she's allowing all of this to happen, and she's not doing anything. Even Detective Cruz tried to tell her to lay off, but instead she telling him, I got Brandon Johnson, I'm gonna flip him like I said. Who does she think she is? This isn't even her district. She's from the west side, and she just so happened to be working over here because his partner was killed last season, and now she's all into it, trying to bring down the whole neighborhood boss. And another thing that got me a little upset, not upset, but confused, is how Maisha gonna try to flip the script on Kevin, talking about he said it because he's sorry, now she's saying basic, when she know damn well she forced him to be with her, to like her. You remember if season 1, she's standing around ambushing him, stealing kisses, getting on top of him, taking his bike, all of these things. And then what? She thought he was going to be in love with her? The thing is this, to me, if that was a fat boy and he was doing that to a cute girl, everybody would have a problem. Everybody would say how he's stealing this girl or doing this or that. But because it's a girl doing it to him, I guess it's okay. It doesn't make any sense. That's a double standard. And then also, how is Jada so pissed at Ronnie for being drunk? You know he's a drunk. You know he done killed a boy, an innocent boy. Why is you trying to date him? You can't find nowhere to go to meet somebody nice. You don't have any other options than to date the drunk that is there with his grandma where you work, and that made you want to quit your job because of that, because of one incident. It's like people don't give anybody a chance or benefit of the doubt. It's your fault. It's only a matter of time for he fall off the wagon. He barely got on it. And another thing, why is him and Tracy going in his ragamuffin when she had a nice Grand Jeep Cherokee? Why is they driving that when she could have drove her own car and he could have just paid for gas? I don't get it. And they spending all this time at this baby shower, and that's fine and dandy. And him and Tracy is bonding, but then he want to say, hey, Trace, give me the keys. She don't want to give him the keys. It's my car, give me the keys. She say, well, if you come back drunk, don't come back. And so he don't say nothing. Why he ain't just tell her he want to go see his daddy, he need to go talk? Why is that such a secret? And then on top of that, after they talk, they got time to work on the car. She's still sitting at the baby shower, probably wondering what the hell you doing, and you sitting here working on this raggedy ass car with your daddy. I don't get it. And then also, how in the world is Emmitt trying to get this apartment? He show his mama, and then she trying to hate, and then he say, well, you gonna let me back? And she say no. What she kicked this dude out for? And all she did was make it harder for him. He got beat up on the train. He's struggling to live here or there. He's trying his best. She didn't help him be a better person. She didn't give him guidance. He learning on his own, and his father, by telling him to be a man and take care of your kids and how to come correct with the women, he's the one that taught him how to do it. She didn't. She never told him how to come correct with the women and talk to them, either go correct with the women or the state. She didn't tell him that. And then she always hating on Darnell, but as soon as he came with some little cold duck to drink, she's ready to drop them draws and get on top of him, even though every chance she get, she keep talking about how he don't like to use condoms. She didn't say nothing about a condom once they started kissing and she took out them tickle bitties and jumped on his lap. She didn't mention nothing about a condom. Besides, Emmitt wouldn't have been born if she was using a condom. So she always quick to try to say how the daddy is this or daddy is that. The only reason she ain't had more kids is because she ain't had a relationship in 6-7 years, like she said. She ain't been able to be with anybody else because she ain't been able to get over him. She told Miss Ethel that in season 1 that he broke her heart, and she ain't been able to move on, and Miss Ethel told her you need to move on, and so that's why she started. But that don't mean kick your son out when he's 17. And then Emmitt, how in the world he got all these women and baby mamas, but then he don't have any idea about a woman being lonely. His mama is telling him, I'm lonely, I got needs, this or that. He sees his mom and daddy together, and for one, that's not your house. Why you all in there appalled and running out like you 5 years old? You grown. You got women, you know how it is, and your mama telling you she's lonely and this and that, and you talking about why you lonely. You got me, you got friends, you got this and that. That's not the same, fool. He should know that. How could he say something like that? They made all the men, in my opinion, seem clueless in this show. Now, I know it's a woman-run show, and I am not hating on that, but they do need real male Chicagoan consultant, because if you think about it, all the men are dumb. Brandon is dumb. Emmitt is kind of dumb. Ronnie is dumb. Darnell, they made him kind of dumb. Like, everybody is dumb. Even the kids got issues, the male kids. And so I don't understand how they made every dude dumb. Reg, he don't get it. They made Reg get shot. That's bad to me, because men are a lot smarter than they give credit in this show. And Emmitt, he should know better than that, talking about, I don't get it. You got me. You don't sleep with your mama, fool. You know that. You got 3 baby mamas. You know it's a difference. And also, Kevin, how is he trying to hate on Jake? They made it stupid. They made Jake dumb. Nobody sells dope across the street in front of their school, obvious like that, where everybody can see. Plus, kids in middle school don't have enough money to keep buying dope like that. They would have had Jake selling on the block, not in front of his school to kids who only got lunch money. And this ain't a rich school. This is a school in the hood, but they can buy dub sacks. It ain't that many kids smoking weed like that in school that they buying with a habit like that when they 10, 12 years old. That's not realistic. That's not realistic. And so I don't understand how they made Jake so dumb, and then Kevin and Papa are trying to explain and rationalize it. Jake would be selling dope and doing that on his block if he was doing it. He wouldn't be doing that in school, and if he was, he would be blending in. He wouldn't be standing aside separate, obvious, in front of that whole school and everybody to drive by that this dude is up to some shady activity. And also, Reg. How do they have Reg only walking around with just Big Mike as his bodyguard, as if, he has no care in the world? They didn't rob these dudes. Part of the reason they robbed them is Duda's fault. They see these sexy girls riding up. This ain't New Jack City in New York. But lo and behold, they start shooting Cardi B. She lets off the shots. This is almost point blank range, okay? Although he did do the Matrix and try to avoid as many as possible, look at how close they are when they shot. They're using a submachine gun, Uzi, whatever the case. It's no way he only gonna get shot twice and Big Mike once, and then he shoots at them and nobody gets hit and they able to pull off. And so Reg, he's laid there leaking, and Mike, he's able to scoop him up like a pooper scooper and take him to safety, talking about, boss man, I'm about to go get some cocoa butter and moisturize them wounds. I don't know, we'll see. But in the end, I think what season 3 needs to happen is they need to refocus the show towards Reg and the kids, make it more street, more hood, and realistic. Stop making these people seem clueless and dumb. Chicago street dudes, I'm gonna have to say, are very smart. It's actually a shame, because I've met people and known people that are involved in different activities that I would think sometimes, man, these dudes are smart. They could have had a better job. They could have been working downtown in the office somewhere, running a business. But for whatever reasons, people, aren't able to finish school, did this, did that, led astray, and now they're doing other things. I went to school with a friend that was so smart, he skipped a grade in school when we was in school, in grammar school. And he had all A's all through grammar school, but he lived in the hood. As you get older, it just starts to absorb you. He was one of the top drug dealers in the neighborhood as we got older. It just happened to be that way. I mean, he was a smart person. For whatever reason, he wasn't able to go to college or get the great job that he should have been able to do. But nonetheless, it was an intelligent person. They're making these people seem like idiots. They don't have a clue. And Duda, He didn't want Reg to die. Some people say maybe he's Jake's father. I don't know. We'll have to see. That would be a nice little storyline to throw in there. We'll see how that works out. In the end, I think they need to add another consultant, a real Chicagoan that's been through some things to help bring more realism to the show. The show is good, but I think season 2 suffered, and I think it's for a lot of different reasons, maybe behind the scenes as well. I think it can be fixed. We'll see how it goes. In the end, I want to thank everybody that supports me at patreon.com. I also want to give a shout out to my biggest fan, Fudgy Babe. Thank you for all your support. Subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like. I'm looking forward to your comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.